EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchich here with your outlook for the weekend of October 18th and 19th, 2025. The weekend video forecast is sponsored by the KP Agency in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, your local independent senior insurance agency. Medicare's annual enrollment period began October 15th, and this year it's shaping up to be one of the most turbulent yet. From rising costs to plan terminations, the landscape is changing fast. The good news, you don't have to figure it out alone. Kristen at the KP Agency helps you cut through the confusion, compare options, and make confident decisions about your coverage, offering no-cost consultations in person or virtually. Call the KP Agency at 908-329-7140. Again, that's 908-329-7140, or visit them on the web at thekpa.net, because peace of mind is the best forecast. I have the microphone up in front of me today because a lot of you were, well, a couple of you anyway, were saying that the sound has been going down. So nothing wrong with our sound equipment. We fully tested that. Maybe it wasn't close enough to me, so it's now in front of me. So hopefully that sounds a little bit better. Today, we actually have a pretty nice weekend coming up. A little warmer than it should be for this time of year. Today's going to be very slightly above average. And then when we get to Sunday, that's going to be when we have warm southerly wind flow ahead of a cold front that's going to be approaching. But this is not going to be long lasting, and it's also nothing that's going to interfere with your weekend in terms of rainfall. So we're looking at a partly cloudy day, intervals of clouds and sun today, and then on Sunday we have this cold front approaching. This is late in the day. This gets all the way up until 8 o'clock, and I'll stop it here. And you can see obviously a warm southerly flow ahead of it, so you're going to have very warm temperatures. As you see above me, 70 to 76 is tomorrow. But today's still pretty warm, too, comparatively speaking to the last couple of days, 65 to 70, but at least closer to average today. But tomorrow, obviously, will be solidly above. And then this is 8 o'clock. It is still the westernmost of the advance of this precipitation is still here in western Pennsylvania. And the NAM is agreeing with this. We get all the way to 8 o'clock, and it's just now maybe coming into places like Lock Haven, maybe approaching Selinsgrove, pretty close to those areas. At least the start of it. So, 8 o'clock at night, the entire weekend during the daylight hours will be dry. You'll have some rain overnight. We knew this was going to be the case over the last couple of days. The question is going to be, with this area low pressure moving along the boundary, the European model today is suggesting it's going to be a little bit weaker than it was shown in previous runs. So we can't make this stuff up. They keep going back and forth. Like, it'll have it for a couple runs. It has enhanced rainfall. And then the next run, it loses it. And now the GFS, which didn't have it, is going in the direction of more. Go over the GFS. I'm just going to do it here. Go over to the GFS, and you see low pressure is enhancing rainfall a little bit more here on the on this precipitation map. So the one that was for the low pressure, providing extra lift and more moisture with this system, has gone away from that idea, and the one that was not on board with that idea has now gone toward it. So you can't make this stuff up. But we're going to have a public map out over the weekend, probably Saturday evening. And we'll put out a map of what we expect for rainfall to be if it is noteworthy. If it ends up looking like the European model has for rainfall, which isn't very much, this is probably not map worthy, so we probably won't do it. We'll just say, hey, if you don't hear from us, it's because it's not going to be a whole lot of rain. This is generally like a quarter to maybe 3 or 4 tenths of an inch of rain. That's not really alert-worthy rainfall, but the GFS, on the other hand, is showing a lot more. This is anywhere between 3/4 of an inch and an inch, and then you get up here in the Northeast PA, it'd actually be well over an inch. I don't know if it's going to be that high, but I think 3/4 of an inch to maybe 1.25 inches is a good spread if the low pressure does, in fact, form along the boundary and enhance that rainfall. If it doesn't, you're just getting a run-of-the-mill cold front and not a big deal. But we'll take what we can get either way. It's just going to be a matter of how much, okay? So we're still working out. It's unfortunate that we're this close to the event and they still can't get their heads and what's wired together, because it's not. This is not making it easy of a forecast, but it does look like this is going to pull away after any leftover showers Monday morning, while partial clearing in the afternoon. Go back to the European model here again. We go back to partial clearing in the afternoon, and then Tuesday is going to be a partly cloudy day, again with clouds increasing later in the day. There could be a few light showers. You can see that here overnight into very early Wednesday morning. Similar setup, just not as robust. So you have a few showers, but they're more insignificant overnight, almost the same timeline as the system coming in, or the cold front coming through Saturday night and Monday morning. This is Tuesday night and a Wednesday morning. Almost the same deal, just less impacts. This is going to be in the lead of a trough, though, that's going to set up over the region in the mid to late week period. It's going to give us temperatures that are slightly cooler than average. That's was outlined in our long-range outlook that we did yesterday, and that's going to be between the 22nd and 26th. We think that's going to be a slightly below average period. Nothing crazy, but temperatures on either side of 60 for several days, and that's what we're kind of expecting at the end of the week. We'll look at breezy conditions as a possibility for Sunday as well as ahead of that front. So what's going to be a southerly wind 10 to 15, but you're going to have some gusts 25 to 30, maybe even isolated higher than that. That's just warm air advection ahead of the cold front. And then after the cold front passes on Monday, once you start clearing out and you have that partial clearing in the afternoon, the wind shifts from a different direction from southerly to more westerly. We'll also have some gusty winds there too, but we'll address that in Monday's video when we get back. I'm EPA meteorologist Bobby Martis. That is your outlook for the weekend of October 18th and 19th, 2025. Have a great Saturday and Sunday.